That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. We got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there, just kicking it, making sure the newsroom is doing good over there. Jesse, what's going on in the world? Funny you say that. I haven't seen the latest. Is it all black or is it like how's it rolling? Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I haven't checked it out. I always check it out on my phone. But if you're tuning in and you're watching via Periscope TV, Instagram Live, YouTube Live, we're all over. Also, don't forget to download our app. It's free, KMET 1490 AM. You can always stay tuned to the latest top of the news every hour on the hour, as well as some great programming here at the station. Like today, after our show, we got a lot of shows for you to watch, especially Getting Out of Debt Free, always good with Dave Ramsey, as well as some other programmers today. Any that you're looking forward to today, Jesse? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, for those of you wondering, because I was talking about our site, but I rarely get to promote it here on the show.
Yeah, I believe
And
it's a
again,
call-in
for
show,
those
so
of
if you have
you,
questions, you could also
whoops,
listen in.
I've
They'll
got my
open up the
sound here
phone
set up.
lines and you can call in
But
with
if you
questions.
need, like, for
Yeah, absolutely. In
example,
fact,
for those, sorry, that's our audio feed that you're hearing. We're having fun over here at the station. We have our visiting audience, of course, on the radio. We appreciate you. But if you want to see the video, you can always do so. And you can see all of our great programming. Just go to KMET 1490 AM and you'll see all of the great series there. You'll see all the great shows. You'll see all the great content. And we got a lot of it, by the way. Of course, 4th of July coming up as well. Are you making plans for that? Jesse, I know you're making plans.
For what? The 4th of July?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have plans to stay in bed all day.
I get you. All right. So some of our great shows and programming, again, download our app. It's free. And if you go to the shows tab and you go to weekdays, for example, you'll see all the great content there. We have our weekly programming, which is pretty consistent. And then we have other programming as well that Jesse's talking about as well. So it's all right there. Just go to our site and you'll get all caught up with the latest and greatest that we have to offer here at the station. So for those of you tuning in, want to say hello. Let's see who's tuning in from social media. We got Viviana says good morning. Good Tuesday morning on a cooler day. Nice to have that. Lee Chambers says morning from Canada. Guess what? Canada's under a heat wave. Feels like California. Yikes. Lee, good friend over there, has been on our show in the past as well with his, I think, horror film. So good job over there doing great content. And there you go. Okay, some of the top stories here. LA County. Doing something that I think, again, we really do need to be mindful of. They're strongly recommending everyone to wear masks in indoor public places, regardless of vaccination status. Why, Jesse, when just the other day everybody was like, no, it's okay. Why do you think that is?
Why everyone they want to wear the mask or they don't want to wear the mask?
They're recommending that you do.
Oh, I'm assuming the Delta variant is starting to rise up over here, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it is actually. That's exactly what it is. Again, it is not mandatory right now, but they're strongly recommending still to do so due to an increased spread of the Delta variant. The recommendation, which officials say is a precautionary measure, is a shift from current guidance, which allows vaccinated people to go maskless in most settings. Public health strongly recommends people wear masks indoor in settings such as grocery or retail stores, theaters and family entertainment centers and workplaces when you do not know everyone's vaccination status. That's according to the LA County Department of Public Health in their statement. The statement adds this: until we better understand how and to who the Delta variant is spreading, everyone should focus on maximum protection with minimum interruption to routine, as all businesses operate without other restrictions like physical distancing and capacity limits. The Delta variant originating in India. It's blamed for rampant infections in that country and outbreaks in the United Kingdom and beyond. Federal health authorities estimate 20% of all new COVID infections in the country are now due to the Delta variant, which is up from 10% a week ago. Last week, we were talking about this. Do you remember, Jesse? And we were saying how it was making an increase about 10%, but 20%?
Oh, wow. That's a big jump.
That's huge. And this is the one that is completely different than the original virus in that the symptoms are different. According to this, it's considered to be far more contagious than previous mutations of the virus and capable of making patients more severely ill. Health officials have said people who are fully vaccinated are protected against the variant. However, I think that's a little backwards forward thinking right now, because it does. If you look at the actual information, all of those that have the vaccine are not prepared with this particular variant. So I feel some are getting wrong information out there, and you can double check on that. It makes you more on the COVID variants, like the first, I think, 6 to 8 variants. But the Delta variant is one that came in, I think, at number 13, possibly. So double check on that. LA County Public Health Director Barbara Ferrer said, while COVID-19 vaccine provides very effective protection, preventing hospitalizations and deaths against the Delta variant, the strain is proving to be more transmissible and is expected to be more prevalent. Mask wearing remains an effective tool for reducing transmission, especially indoors where the virus may be easily spread through inhalation of aerosols emitted by an infected person. Last week, there were a total of 123 cases of the variant that has been identified in the country, doubled the number from a week earlier. Since the county conducts limited sequential testing, she said the rising number means there are likely more infections as well. They stress the level of protection, releasing statistics showing between December 7th and June 7th, 99.6% of all new COVID infections in the county involved people who were not vaccinated. Of all the people who were hospitalized, 98.7% were unvaccinated. Among those who died, 99.8% were unvaccinated. So, again, it definitely helps. But even though you have it, don't go around thinking, I'm cured, I'm happy, I'm okay. And if you're happy, that's great. Just don't be in a situation where you think, okay, I have my protection bubble around me, right? Unless you have a protection bubble, Jesse, right? I mean, protection bubbles help some people with autoimmune disorders. Not that they like it, but, right, if you have one of those,
that is true. I'm waiting for everyone just to roll around in bubbles or giant body condoms or something. Who knows?
Which they've done mid last year. Which they did Yeah, there were some inventive people out there, I remember seeing an actor go in with like he had this like overhead thing, which was like, I forgot what you call it, but he kind of put himself in his own bubble, which I kind of thought was kind of smart. But there you go. So the point is, we're not over it just yet, even if people go around maskless, which I was in a shop I think it was Saturday, over near Venice, and I put on my face mask, and like I want to say 9/10 of the people in there, nope, no mask, and I was like, okay, but it's still in the air, people. So be careful. That's my recommendation. That's what others are saying. California, in fact, this one's interesting. Are banning state travel to Florida. And why, you ask? Democratic Attorney General Rob Bonta added Florida, Arkansas, Montana, North Dakota, and West Virginia to the list that now has 70 states where state employee travel is forbidden except under limited circumstances. Now, the question, though, is why? And the statement here, according to this, California added 5 more states, including Florida, to the list of places where state-funded travel is banned because of laws that discriminate against members of the LGBTQ community. That's according to the state attorney general Monday. He said, make no mistake, we're in the midst of an unprecedented wave of bigotry and discrimination in this country, and the state of California is not going to support it. Lawmakers in 2016 banned non-essential travel to states with laws that discriminate against lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people. The 12 other states on the list are Texas, Alabama, Idaho, Iowa, Oklahoma, South Carolina, South Dakota, Kentucky, North Carolina, Kansas, Mississippi, Tennessee. 5 states added to the list have introduced bills in their legislature this year that prevent transgender women and girls from participating in school sports consistent with their gender identity, block access to health care, I didn't know that, and allow the discrimination of the LGBTQ community. Florida, Montana, Arkansas, and West Virginia passed laws that prevent transgender women and girls from participating in school sports consistent with their gender identity. North Dakota signed into law a bill allowing certain publicly funded student organizations to restrict students from joining without losing funding. Arkansas got in on that. They passed the first law in the nation to prohibit physicians from providing gender affirming health care to minors, regardless of the wishes of parents or whether a physician deems such care to be medically necessary. Okay, I get that. But banning travel to these places, I don't understand that. Do you understand what I'm saying, Jesse? Or am I wrong on that? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong, because I could always just, or the state person could always just fly to a nearby state and then drive over. So it's stupid and it's a hassle.
Yeah, and I think it's more like talk than anything at all, right? I understand being like, no, we don't want to go there. I mean, a lot of people have striked and made it, not a thing. But to kind of say they banned state travel to Florida is like, I mean, you and your wedding situation, right? I mean, that was a family wedding. It's not like you're like, well, and I don't ever want it to be like, well, if you do go, now you're supporting that, because it's like even people in Florida don't think it's right? So it's not like ban the whole state of Florida.
Right?
Does that make
That's
any
like,
sense? Like, I mean, you got Disney World over
I
there.
understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So I think this is getting a little, like, it's good that it's becoming top news, but it's kind of not the smartest way to go about it, because then you could have friends that might be, and then they go, well, if you go, yeah, but I got a wedding to go to, or I got a vacation, or I'm going to Disney World, right? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to me. So there you go. But I didn't know that. I didn't know all the things that other states are doing or are not doing. So some people do have questions on that, and so there you go. I will say the horrible thing that's happening in Florida is the situation with the Florida condo, which Jesse, you and I talked a little bit before the show, and it's such a terrible situation for those of you that have seen that. The Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine Cava says, we have people waiting and waiting and waiting for news. We have them coping with the news that they might not have their loved ones come out alive, and still hope against hope that they will. Still hope against. I don't understand what she said about that. They're learning that some of their loved ones will come out as body. Oh, I don't want to say that. She doesn't know how to report the news. Yeah, she said as body parts. So this is the kind of information that's just excruciating for everyone. Okay, so I think she's stressing out over there. She doesn't know how to state that properly. But that was an exact quote from her. The work has been deliberate and treacherous. 2 additional bodies were found Monday, raising the count of confirmed dead to 11. That leaves 150 people still unaccounted for in the community of Surfside, which was just outside Miami. Authorities are frequently with families explaining what they're doing and answer questions. They've discussed with families everything from how DNA matches are made to help identify the dead to how next of kin will be contacted. And it's very, very painstakingly terrible, the situation. Miami Assistant Fire Chief said every time there's an action, there's a reaction. It's not an issue of we could just attach a couple of cords to a concrete boulder and lift it and call it a day. Some of the concrete pieces are smaller, the size of basketballs or baseballs. From outside a neighboring building on Monday, more than 24 family members watched teams of searchers excavate the building site. Some held onto each other for support, others hugged and prayed. Some people took photos. Again, if you've seen this, it's a terribly horrible situation. The whole building on the I'm not sure what side of it actually, but it's terrible. Which in a structural field service report from 2018, engineers pointed out the evidence of flooding, cracking, and corrosion in the building. So of course there'll be more information on that. The building collapsed days before a deadline for condo owners to start making steep payments toward more than $9 million in repairs that had been recommended 3 years earlier in a report that warned of major structural damage. If that is ever a situation and you find yourself in a building like that, take it seriously. This situation is not one that is, and just to show you, I mean, the extremity of it. If you have not seen that, that's what others are trying to get out from. So, from a collision. So, okay, we're going to take a quick little break here on the morning show. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Staff and families at Custom Care Solutions caregivers take this time out to recognize and salute the Palm Desert men and women in uniform, standing tall for our political and economic freedoms around the world. Let's always remember them in our thoughts and prayers. Their efforts abroad and our support have kept America strong. That message was courtesy of your good friends at Custom Care Solutions Caregivers, 42201 Beacon Hill in Palm Desert. They're always working to keep our community moving in a positive direction.
Get up to the minute forecast and temperatures for Beaumont, Banning, Redlands, Palm Springs, your community, national or international cities, on KMET's website, KMET1490am.com. The station now features AccuWeather. AccuWeather offers weekend and extended forecasts along with the latest radar map and current conditions. AccuWeather on KMET1490am.com. Logged in every morning for your daily forecast.
We're in the studio with Fred Penny, managing attorney with Penny and Associates Injury Lawyers. Fred, tell us what makes you the number one choice for handling personal injury cases.
Most of our firm is made up of former insurance company trial lawyers with extensive experience handling all types of personal injury matters. We believe that gives us a distinct advantage.
That's Penny and Associates Injury Lawyers with locations throughout California. For a free consultation, go to pennyandassociates.com or call 1-800-616-4-LAW. That's 1-800-616-4-LAW.
Do you need a car? Been shopping only to be turned down because of bad credit, low credit, no credit, bankruptcy, or divorce? Guess what? Today's your lucky day, because now you can buy a car, truck, or SUV, just about any vehicle. It's true. Bad credit doesn't matter. No credit doesn't matter. Bankruptcy or divorce, it just doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, your job is your ticket to your new vehicle. We're Auto Credit Express, and we've helped thousands of people just like you. Antonio H. told us, great company, got me connected, and the day I went in, I drove off in the car I wanted. 100% worth your time. Need a car? Get started now and drive off as early as today. Just go to 12ignoremyscore.com right now. That's www.12ignoremyscore.com. Auto financing the easy way. 12ignoremyscore.com. Get started today. Auto financing the easy way.
The Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning is distinctively suited for your travel time out of the car. Off the road, you'll find a courteous, welcoming staff and spacious rooms with desks, flat-screen HD TVs, and comfortable furnishings. Enjoy the complimentary breakfast buffet, high-speed internet, and fitness center and pool. The Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning, conveniently located off the I-10 near golf, gaming, and entertainment. For reservations and information, call 951-572-5500. That's 951-572-5500, or go online at hiebanning.com.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. We got our friends tuning in on social media. Angela Arahu says, good morning. Good morning, Angela. Stephanie Reed says, let's see. I know I have so many dill, parsley, and spearmint, cilantro, and oregano over here. This Sunday on Up TV is a 4th of July salute to Summer of Gilmore Girls marathon, including summer season of A Year in the Life. Melinda Monteverde over there says, good morning. Good morning to you and Oscar. Again, Oscar's done some great reporting for us here at the station for Knott's Berry Farm and others, and I'm looking forward ahead. Hopefully some cool stuff will come out from that side of the world as well. So pretty cool stuff. Let's see. This also, a lot of questions, again, around the world. And this is one. Type 2 diabetes has doubled kids during the pandemic. Why, you ask? Well, the obvious, right? ABC News chief medical correspondent Dr. Jennifer Ashton broke down what's behind the recent increase and what parents need to know. She said, quote, filed this under a ripple effect by the pandemic caused by being less active, possibly eating more, and fewer well visits at a children's pediatrician. These two studies presented at the American Diabetes Association conference show a significant increase in the risk of type 2 diabetes, which we know is a problem because it's a risk factor for future heart disease. She said it's imperative parents understand what puts children at risk, such as being overweight, inactivity, and a family history of the disease. Certain races and ethnicities are at a higher risk, as well as babies born with lower birth weights or mothers who had diabetes during pregnancy. As for the warning signs, things like increased thirst, increased urination, unintentional weight loss in a child, increased hunger or fatigue, changes in behavior. One warning sign in particular said you should prompt a doctor screening in skin discoloration known as acanthosis nigricans. It can occur in the neck, in the groin, and in the armpits. Added Ashton, awareness is so key, but it is reversible. Get children screened, and if you get the diagnoses, understand it's really a glass half full situation, because with aggressive management, lifestyle changes, possibly medication, it can be reversed. Studies out of Washington, D.C. and Baton Rouge were presented as part of the virtual 81st scientific sessions of the American Diabetes Association, which looked at that larger trend of how stay-at-home orders exacerbated certain diseases. So I think that's positive news, though, right? Get it determined early and then get it treated, right, Jesse?
Oh, most definitely. Diabetes is not something to mess around with.
Yeah, and some of the signs are increased thirst and urination, unintentional weight loss, increased hunger, fatigue, behavior changes, and skin discoloration. So if you exhibit any one of these things, then, get it checked out. And, of course, you should be hopefully fine on that. July 4th being around the corner again. I will say this. I do hope the information gets out there more than most, because, of course, with July 4th, it's a lot of families getting together, right? July 4th weekend is expected to be the busiest travel period since the start of the pandemic, with more Americans taking to the roads and skies. AAA forecasts 43 million Americans will hit the roads over the holiday, 5% more than the volume the organization saw in 2019. Jeanette McGee said what's interesting is compared to 2019, travel volume by car is actually up. It just proves that the road trip is back stronger than ever, which makes sense, right? I mean, if I were to go anywhere, I will say this, though, as a public service announcement.
Uh-oh.
If you have a newer vehicle that goes kind of fast and you don't know and you don't feel it, okay, I just paid a ticket, that's why. So I'm having to I'm not happy about it, okay? And the judge was they do Zoom calls, right? So I got this ticket in Arizona on the way back from Arizona. Okay, kid you not, this is real. And I was testing one of the vehicles. It was a Lexus, all right, nice hatchback, beautiful vehicle. However, it was one of those straightaways that you go on that you're like, nobody's on the road, right? And I was in a deep conversation with my mom, right, on the way back. And again, nobody's on the road. Nobody, right? On the left, lots of cactus, lots of nothing. On the right, lots of cactus, lots of nothing, right? Straight away, okay? And part of it, like a slope down, but not like full slope, like slope-ish down, now that I think about it. So, full on straight away. No curves, no nothing. I'm going to stick by that. How fast would you go on that? Nobody there. And you're in deep conversation. And you're in a vehicle that doesn't feel like it's going 90. You thought you were going 65 or maybe 70 at the most. I'm going 90, Jesse, and boom, right? Way back, I can see I'm like, God, I hope he's just looking for somebody else. I look down and I go, maybe not, that might be for me. So I pull over, he finally catches up, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, that was for me. Shoot, he caught me on the radar. So I got a ticket. But, I'm thinking, and he's kind of not kind about it. He's like, this is criminal activity, blah, 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 blah. So if you go over 85, the magic number, for those wondering, is under 85. Okay, don't go over 85. Very important, okay? It's called civil ticket. You go over 85, it's now, especially in Arizona, criminal. Okay, so I'm a criminal now, Jesse. I got street cred, literally. But my point is this, okay? It wasn't fun. Because then I had to show up for court, right? You think, okay, pay the ticket, get a fine, you're done, right? No. I had to do a Zoom situation like a month ago, right? Which you go, okay, well, thank God you didn't have to show up for court. Yeah, but then I had to pay money, $50, which I did a cashier's check. Then they lost it. Lost it. And then I had to actually do it again, but this time I did it online, right? So I'm like, you can't lose a cashier's check, which don't ever pay with a money order or cashier's check to places like this. I don't care if they are official. Oh yeah, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, we didn't get it. Oh, okay, I trust you on that. You got all my other information, but you didn't get it in the envelope. Okay, I get that. But at the same time, so I lost my $50. I had to pay another $50. Then I do the Zoom, right? And again, and this is another $600, which actually the ticket price should be under $500. It says so. It's like $458. I don't know why I got the additional. I pled guilty, so I didn't like pretend to be innocent. So but then they're like up to 30 days in jail, year in probation. Like, I'm like, people, if you go to Arizona anytime soon, stay under 85. So put the cruise control on, okay? Make sure you're under 85, 82 at the max. Because, there's some areas where you could do that, right? You could pull that. And I know officers, when they're off duty, and I know judges, by the way, that are off duty, they get away with that stuff. Because they just say, oh, I'm a judge. And they Zoom all the time. Now, in their defense, I will say to the judge, thank you for at least saying, sometimes animals kind of dart out there all of a sudden, and they might hit your windshield. So be careful of that. And I said, okay, thank you for adding some perspective I didn't see. $600 later. Anyway, we'll take a quick break here on the morning show. There's a PSA, okay, people? Slow down. Even in your country back roads. We'll be back right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Take KMET 1490 AM with you everywhere you go by downloading our free smartphone apps found on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. You can also go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store on your phone to download the free app. Now you can listen live or play any of your favorite programmers' podcasts using your smartphone. Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
KMET welcomes Ron Siegel, Geneva Financial, with advice and suggestions for consumers with the hows and whys of our incredible real estate market. Now, here's the market in a minute with Ron Siegel.
The median price of an existing home was $250,300 in May, a 23.6% year-over-year increase. Low inventory and strong demand are fueling extraordinary home prices. Existing home sales in May were down for the fourth straight month, falling 0.9%, as just 1.23 million homes were for sale. That's a 2.5-month supply and a 20.6% drop from a year earlier. Fed Chair Powell also reaffirmed the Fed's intent to encourage a broad and inclusive job market recovery and to avoid interest rate increases based only on fear of coming inflation. This week's Freddie Mac mortgage rates are 3.02% on a 30-year fix, and 15-year is 2.34%. These are still historically low rates. Thanks for listening. Have a great week. And remember my motto: make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun.
This Market in a Minute has been brought to you by Geneva Financial. For an up-to-date market report, text Market Minute to 79564. That's Market Minute to 79564.
For all you truck and RV enthusiasts, TruckWorks right here in Banning is your one-stop shop for the best diesel performance and overall truck and RV needs. Whether you're towing, racing, off-road, or just cruising around town, TruckWorks specializes in truck and RV service, maintenance, repair, and performance upgrades for every light and medium-duty truck manufacturer. Bring it down to Terry and the guys at TruckWorks. Call 951-922-4776 or visit their website at mydieseldown.com today.
Your health truly is the greatest gift. At U-Theory, quality of life is at the heart of every product we make. From farm to shelf, we travel the world to source the purest, most efficacious, and clinically studied ingredients to create science-backed supplements that support beauty, emotional, digestive, and physical well-being. All U-Theory products are manufactured at our Southern California facility, ensuring the highest quality standards every step of the way. As a family-owned company, we celebrate the power of human potential with a mission to inspire wellness in all. Try U-Theory Immune Plus Daily Wellness, 100% daily values of vitamin C, D3, and zinc. Go beyond the you of today and catch the you of tomorrow. U-Theory.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Again, this is the time of the heat wave, and of the heat wave, of course, we have to be careful of fire season. So be extra cautious out there. There was a fire recently, Monday, in the Hemet area of Riverside County. This is your neck of the woods, Jesse. Did you see it?
Did I see it? No. The question is, what caused the fire? Wait, where was this? Hemet,
Yeah,
where?
it actually broke out near California Avenue and Lynn Avenue. Several power lines were damaged due to the fire, and thousands of customers were out of power temporarily. At last check, the fire grew to 122 acres and is 0% contained, by the way.
Dang.
The cause of the fire is still remaining under investigation. Still pretty new there. So if you have air quality that isn't that good, again, even then, you should wear a face mask. I said that last year when all the wildfires were really breaking out. Remember the string of them? There were a bunch of them. So be careful out there. And then there's this, which I've actually heard outdoors in my neck of the woods, which is in the San Gabriel Valley. A pack of 12 coyotes. Now, this happened not in my neck of the woods, but I have been hearing coyotes late at night, like a bunch of them. And I don't know what they're doing, but they do the coyote like I can't do a coyote thing, but this happened, so you got to be careful out there. A pack of 12 coyotes attacked a woman and her dog in Woodland Hills, adding to a growing problem in the area. Coyotes have been coming down from the hills into other neighborhoods in big numbers. Now, this is in Woodland Hills. I will say this has been happening here as well, which is not towards the hills, so they're probably coming from local hill neighborhoods. I'm not sure. Resident Michael Siebold said the pack has gotten out of control in the past couple of years. The numbers have doubled. Siebold's 4-year-old dog named Bear came face to face with the issue last week when 2 coyotes came to the gate of the property. Siebold said they were kind of snarling and going at each other through the gate. One of them hit the gate and the latch broke or popped, and he took off after them. The animals ran down the street with Siebold's wife close behind, but they say more coyotes, about 10, were waiting for them. Ooh, they're hunting in packs. That's not good. He said, quote, "There's a den down the road, so I'm guessing they were trying to get him to go up there." A neighbor came out to help, not before the dog suffered a few cuts to his back and paws, and the pack of coyotes eventually left. Siebold said he's grateful their dog protected his wife from the coyotes, but said it's a perfect example that wild animals cannot be scared off easily. Now they're just taking naps on the grass, putting their face against people's windows to their houses just to see inside. Oh, I will say coyotes are, look, they're a different type of pack of wild animal, but we got to figure out how to rescue them and then keep them safe, right? But yeah, they do what they do, right? They gotta eat, and boy do they eat. I remember seeing one cat this was in Temple City when I used to live there. It was torn into pieces, but they didn't eat it all. But yeah, it was left on I was like, animal control, please. It was disgusting, I will say. But, they're coyotes. They need to eat. So you're kind of like, the question is, what are you going to do about it? But usually they come out late at night. These are coming out in the midday. So if you see a coyote, don't be like, oh, cute little Dougie. Yeah, they're ready to rip your hand off. Don't do that with coyotes. Coyotes are vicious, so you got to be careful there. They look innocent, but until they, lure you into their den and then attack you from behind. So you got to be careful. Always watch your back with coyotes. Never trust them. All right. And then there's this safari park. San Diego Zoo Safari, good place to go check out outdoors, right? Why not? Public health officials are looking for anyone, though, who may have come into contact with a rabid bat at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park in Escondido. Health and Human officials of San Diego County on Sunday said the bat was found alive Friday at the Mombasa Island Pavilion. It was collected by a trained park employee and determined to not be one of the park's collection animals. That's not good. The bat was delivered to the county on June 25th and tested positive for rabies. Jesse, have you ever had rabies?
No, I am glad I've never had rabies. I'm not a fan of touching wild animals, so yay for me.
Yeah, and just so you know, let's see. It's the second rabid bat found in San Diego County so far this year. Dr. Wilma Wooten, San Diego County's public health officer, said in a statement, human rabies is usually fatal without prompt post-exposure vaccine and treatment. There have been no reported human or animal contact with this bat, but it was found in an area where many park visitors passed by. We want to make sure that no one had contact with it. Now, you're probably thinking, Did the bat have to bite somebody? Did they have to, like, you know, where you're like, here, little bat, let me, and then go, you know, and now you've got it. Rabies transmission can occur from a bat bite, or if a bat's saliva comes in contact with a wound or mucous membrane, such as the eyes, nose, or mouth. Wooten says people should always stay away from bats and other wild animals to prevent possible exposure to rabies. She said, quote, if you see a bat dead or alive, do not touch it. Anyone who may have had direct contact with the bat, such as touching or holding the animal, should immediately contact the County of San Diego Health and Human Services Agency at 619-692-8499. That's 619-692-8499. So it's no laughing matter, but do you remember the movie, and it's so sad, was it, which one was it? It was, I think it was Old Yeller. Do you remember that?
Old Yeller. Oh, well, I got to bring back that memory. Wow.
I don't know why adults show their kids that movie. I'm not gonna lie, right? The moment, right? Old Yeller is one of those movies that will forever haunt your childhood and adulthood, right? That's all I had to say. If you have kids,
it's one of those movies. The moment you said Old Yeller, I know where you're going with this.
If you have kids under maybe 15, don't show them Old Yeller. Just don't. Okay? Just don't. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I don't even want to tell people. I want to almost flash to the end of that movie because they get you in. You love that dog. Old Yeller, so beautiful. But why do you have to go and do that, man? Why couldn't you have taken it to the vaccination clinic? You got the, like, you know? No! Old Yeller just got what Old Yeller got. So that's what happens when the people don't watch the morning show. Go to a veterinarian. They gotta do a reboot of that. Old Yeller lives. Oh, sorry. I skipped forward to the end. Don't show your kids Old Yeller. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on the morning show. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Listeners, Christopher here from The Christopher Show. Hey, I want to talk to you a little bit about CBD. Now, CBD is not approved by the FDA as of yet. Myself, as well as millions of other people across the USA, have used it with help for pain, anxiety, sleep, and other conditions. Now, you know, all CBD products are not equal. It really matters on where you get the CBD from. Now, I suggest you get it from a qualified pharmacist, and I happen to know of one. It's at Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, California. They only carry pharmaceutical-grade CBD products of the highest quality. So if you want the best, you go to Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions. Their staff is there to help you with all your CBD, pharmacy, and mobility needs. They're located at 1680 East 6th Street in Beaumont, California. Give them a call, 951-845-8252. Once again, it's Your Pharmacy Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, 951-845-8252. Once again, it's Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, California, 951-845-8252.
A show where you can actually have all of your legal questions answered for free by a law firm with 40 years experience? Are you kidding me? What could be better than that? That's the WK Law Power Hour, 1490 KMET, every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Get your legal questions answered, great guests, watch or listen. You won't regret it. We look forward to seeing you there.
You're running out of letterhead. What do you do? Lithopass Printing. You need business cards. Now what? Lithopass Printing. Invitations to a wedding? Lithopass Printing and Banning is the answer. Lithopass Printing can provide banners, signs, and blueprints. Think of Lithopass Printing and Banning for quality graduation, birthday party, and baby shower invitations. Lithopass Printing also provides lamination, faxing, and photo prints. If you need it inked, make it Lithopass Printing. Lithopass Printing and Banning.
Summer in the Inland Empire. You know what that means. Sunny days and hot temperatures that make you want to stay inside. Franklin Mechanical Systems can repair or replace your air conditioning unit to get it working cool before the heat hits. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems for all your residential and commercial air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000 and get cool today.
Join Daryl McCants and Yvette Walker each Tuesday at 4 p.m. on ABC News Radio, KMET, and Internet KMET TV for the Southern California Business Report. The show highlights successful businesses and individuals behind them. Daryl and Yvette interview the incredible people managing these enterprises that range from awe-inspiring sole proprietors to world-renowned organizations. The Southern California Business Report, Tuesdays at 4 p.m. on KMET AM, FM, and Internet KMET TV.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Again, to our listeners, do be careful out there. I know some people are kind of throwing caution to the wind right now, even though it is summer. Remember, even though it's July 4th, do remember what happened last year. We don't want to happen again this year, which was usually a spike 3 to 4 weeks after July 4th, which we saw happening. Some people have still not gotten the vaccine. Others are getting the Delta variant, whether they have the vaccine or not. And different symptoms do, there's just different ones that you got to be careful of. So you may think you have a common cold, when in reality, it isn't anything like that. So you're thinking, okay, oh, I'm getting the sniffles, and not knowing the sniffles are now part of this Delta variant, which is probably why it is so easily transmissible, because people underestimate it. Right? Maybe we're like, oh, it's just like the flu, not realizing it's a lot different than the flu. So COVID-19 is treated differently and can be much more severe, even to a fairly normal human being. So you have to be careful. They're still trying to learn more about it. It has not gotten completely out of the India area as well. A lot of people still, I mean, this is the one, if I have to remind people, that put people outside of the hospitals because they were just so overwhelmed with not enough nurses, doctors to be able to help them. And again, India, of course, having a higher population than we do here. When you see that happen and then break out in the UK as well, you've got situations which you have to be careful of. You have to remember, coronavirus is around. It's still here. The other variants are still here. Yes, you're more immune than not if you do get your vaccine. However, you've still got other variants still popping up. And again, the Delta variant is the most predominant one at 20% now of coronavirus cases. But then you've got the other variants. How many different variants are there, Jesse? Do you know?
Variant. I remember we talked about this. I want to say 13, but I'm pretty sure it's less.
Less? Actually, there's more. But which is why. But they're coming out as we speak. Now you have to remember, that doesn't mean they're all in the same area. Okay, that's the number one thing. Okay, it doesn't mean like there's ones which are found in different parts of the world. Right, this is a worldwide epidemic. But if you want the classifications and definitions, you can do so by going to cdc.gov. You'll get the whole list there. So one's referred to as the gamma. Another one's referred to as the beta. There's an alpha one. There's an epsilon one. There's a zeta one. And these, again, a bit confusing to people. I understand, but there's so many of them. They don't want to necessarily say, oh, this one's from China. This one's from this place. This one's from that place, right? So you have to be careful, obviously. But it's important that doctors, if you do get tested for coronavirus, you find out which one you have, because each one is completely different than the last one, right? So they have different treatments for them. They're still trying to get to know what the treatments are for them, but you have to be careful, okay? So and by linking these, they're also seeing kind of things in their world numbers of how they all link up as well. But travel is one of the easiest ways to transmit viruses. Okay, so with travel happening, if you've got an RV, or I know RV sales are up significantly since last year, which, you know, I'm kind of there with you if you want an RV and you want to travel, right? I'm kind of like that, but do so safely and then do so responsibly. But if you have to take a plane, did you wear a face mask, Jesse?
On the plane?
Yeah.
You must wear a face mask at all times while on the plane.
Yeah, you just have to. So be careful over there. All right. Here's some good news. Remember the cows that kind of made it out in Pico Rivera? Which I believe there was a death on. I think that wasn't the good thing. Yeah, because
They killed the cow. But I heard the news.
Yeah, the only surviving cow among a group of 40 bovines that escaped a Pico Rivera slaughterhouse has arrived at her new home at a Southland Farm sanctuary where she will live out her days in peace. I hate having to announce this. I should have read this before I stated it. The only surviving cow of 40. Farm sanctuary in Acton posted Sunday, quote, the as of yet unnamed cow is very hesitant. Yeah, you wanted to kill the cow. And fearful of humans, which is unsurprising considering everything she's gone through. She'll likely calm down as the days go on, and she comes to recognize that we are not going to hurt her. Aww. All of her friends and family members that she knew, she's terrorized, traumatized, really. Though she may never warm up to humans fully. I don't blame her.
I wouldn't.
Right? I mean, the fact that they broke out of the slaughterhouse, which some news reporters didn't report that. They're like, oh, out of like a farm, and then other ones are like, no, it's a slaughterhouse. That's where we kill them. So she said, but that's one of the great parts of Sanctuary. We don't force her to spend time with us. We allow her to just be. Mm-hmm. I like the Sanctuary. I can tell you right now, the cows at least vegging out. Let's see. It said she'll also have a routine 30-day quarantine period to ensure she's healthy. That's good. Doesn't have anything she could pass on to our other residents. These first days, though, are just for her to settle in. The sanctuary said the cow arrived at the facility on Saturday. 40 cows got away Tuesday night when an employee mistakenly left a door open. Oh, that's how they got out.
Ooh,
quick, run away! The animals stampeded through residential streets, causing some property damage. One was killed by a sheriff's deputy after charging at a family, and one was recovered 2 days later in South Del Monte, about 5 miles away. The animal, though, was sent to Farm Sanctuary thanks to the efforts of songwriter, get this, Diane Warren, and the group Animal Alliance Network. Warren said, quote, seeing these cows escaping their horrible fate broke my heart. Aw, so it touched her. I understand that. She says they knew what awaited them. They are smart, empathetic, beautiful souls. You know what? I'm not going to lie. That kind of sometimes does make you think, and in the same words, I'm probably going to like want a burger tomorrow or later. I know, I'm that person. I'm sorry. I just had to say it because I know I'm going to, and I did have one this last week and it was delicious. But I sometimes wonder if a cow like could talk to me, what would the cow say? Please eat chicken. You know, so like, right? Eat more chicken. That's what, right?
Wow, okay. We're going to go with those Chick-fil-A commercials? Gotcha.
Well, I'm just saying, what would the cow, and would the cow be like, you know what? We are pretty delicious. Is this Joe? Joe, you were pretty good. You know, and then in heaven, they're kind of talking, yo, Joe, you're tasty, man. Lean beef. Keep it up. Get ready to go back in. We're cows again, right? Like, what do they say once they go from cow to nothing at all, right?
Oh my God.
I don't know. I kind of do what the natives used to do, which is like, bless this meal for the animal that gave up its life for us to partake in its protein fat. But there you go. But according to Warren, she said, seeing these cows escaping their horrible fate broke my heart. They knew what awaited them. These are smart, empathetic, beautiful souls. Meanwhile, despite offers from other sanctuaries to provide homes for some of the other cows who escaped the slaughterhouse, the other animals were killed for meat. Yeah, that's pretty official. That's what slaughterhouses do. That's how they make their money. Anthony De Maria, chairman of Manning Beef, LLC, said, I'm in the meat business. The animals were harvested. Note, they were raised for the public to consume. I can tell you right now, Anthony De Maria is like, what? This is what I do for a living. You're welcome. Pico Rivera City Manager Steve Carmona said that the city had been talking to Manny Beef about possibly moving all the escaped cows to a sanctuary. He's like, you better pay me good. That's a lot of beef. Carmona said the city had a number of folks who reached out, other sanctuaries and also private individuals who offered to donate to acquire these animals. We will facilitate the dialogue with the owner to see if that can happen. De Maria said Saturday that only one cow would be donated. Got it. He's like, no. What did you expect? It's my business, really. He has donated both mother and calf numerous times to sanctuaries in the past. When a pregnant animal is delivered to the facility, Pico Rivera City Councilman Eric Lutz said, we do have feelings as humans for animals. Yeah, I don't think you do. It's ironic, but yes, we do have to eat. I can tell you right now, vegans and vegetarians are like, there's options. And in a couple hours, I imagine all of you will be hungry too. See, I told you this person has no qualm about it, but at least he's real about it, right? At least he's real, I will say. Corona added that Pico Rivera obviously will not allow any future slaughterhouses to exist in the city. Oh, wow. They're like, we cannot have this happen again. 40 demonstrators gathered outside the slaughterhouse in the 9500 block of Beverly Road to plead for the cows' freedom. And Manning Beef's Facebook page contained several posts this week from members of the public urging the company to spare the animals' lives. You know what I will say from this, though? Sometimes we don't stop and think. I will say, I remember on a particular farm that I used to like show kids around in LA. It was like the traveling farm. It was cool. It was pretty cool. But there was this cow, and you could put your fingers in their mouth and they just like kind of suck on it because they don't have any top teeth. They just, and they kind of chew sideways with their mouth, right? Adorable cow. And then there was one that I had to milk. That one, never stand behind a cow. When the tail goes up, the poop comes out and it splatters everywhere. Yeah, the kids were like, oh, and I was like, oh, that's disgusting cow. But it's what cows do, right? They poop, they eat, and they give milk. And evidently their body's for meat. So there you go. All right, so the PSA of today, don't drive too fast. And if you gotta eat beef, thank them for giving their life. Because I don't see us becoming vegetarians anytime soon. Sorry, cows. Don't be born a cow. That's all I got to say. All right, we'll see. And eat more chicken. No, and then you got the chickens going, don't eat us, we eat the cows. No, don't eat us. No, I want to go to heaven. I don't know how they talk. I don't know. But there you go. That's what I imagine. All right, people, we'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same channel. Make it a good day. Bye-bye, everyone.